Hello and welcome to beautiful Pickett, Wisconsin on this Tuesday, April 21st. Yes, April 21st. It's sunny. It's just like 71 degrees, no wind. I'm barefoot getting good grounding. It's just a spectacular day to run yet another engine. And yes, this is the second engine I've run here today. But this is the Saito FA-72 engine that I got in the end of January at a swap meet because it had a stripped glow plug head. Now a buddy of mine, Mike, really good guy, professionally installed a helicoil in this engine, and this thing is like brand new. In fact, this engine is really going to be up for sale probably at the conclusion of this run. Now I've got a new set of Boca bearings in it, the helicoil, and I'm running today I'm going to be running a wood, I think that says Zinger 13.8 prop on here. I've got some 5% nitro fuel, and I believe that's an OSF plug. So I have done a preliminary run on this thing in my garage the other day just because when I mounted it I was curious about it. And I've got it preliminarily tuned right now too, so you're probably not going to see a whole heck of a lot of tuning going on because it's pretty much done. This should just be a fire up run and just say, holy crap, it's a beautiful engine type of run. That's what we're hoping. So the 13.7, so people often comment after the fact, after I've already posted the video, saying, oh, you should run this prop, you should run that prop. Well, maybe, I don't know. I mean, it's my choice what prop to run, but I typically choose a prop either based on past runs of the same engine, if I like that RPM run, but I also use the review articles on these engines, and I select a prop based on a RPM range. I don't ever like to run a four-stroke prop over 10,000 RPM. That's just my personal preference because four-stroke engines don't produce peak power at peak RPM like two-strokes do. Yet some people just tend to like to wind them out for some reason. So I select a prop based on RPM. Now, I'll have to go back and look at the review article sections there. I think I was looking for an APC 13.8, but I didn't have any APC 13.8s. This is what I found. I think a 13.8 is what I really wanted to run anyway. It's just that this is a wood prop. So I do have a pretty big selection of props, but not every single pitch, every single width or size in every single vendor. So Zinger 13.8 is what I'm running. Let's just do it. Okay, I think I've got my tachometers over there. So let's just start by priming. It takes a good prime. Now this carb does not have a throttle stop screw. So that wasn't. So no throttle stop screw, as I said, so that kind of always sucks. I can't recall what a 13.8 off the top of my head. Maybe I can go check my phone real quick and check the RPM on the on the Clarence Lee review said that a 13/8 should generate, but yeah, so apparently it's not tuned quite right for today's weather. So let's fire it up again here. I got my screwdriver here. I can make some low speed adjustments to it. Before I do that, let me see where I'm at here. Do I have a reference on here? So let's go 1, 2. So I'm basically 2 turns out from fully closed. 1, 2. To me, it sounded kind of like when I was leaning it out, I thought I heard the beginnings of detonation. I don't know why I've got that in my hand, or this in my hand at this moment. I need this in my hand. Letting it idle long enough for me to determine if that's too rich or too lean yet. So let's put this here. And where's my starter? So that little test tells me that was just a hair too rich. So I'm going to lean it out just a little bit here, provided this thing doesn't move on me. Okay, I tweaked that just a hair. Let's see if that's enough to keep it running at a lower idle. I didn't get a chance to read the idle either, so. Is it going to let me read the idle? Do I have a bum plug? Okay, so it's just wanting to die out here. So even though I've gone through this engine and all the internals should be good, I don't know that I necessarily went through the carb, and obviously at the swap meet I didn't get any kind of information from the seller as to the history of the engine other than that the glow plug threads were stripped. To me it looked like a really low time engine, and I don't have a whole lot of experience with the 72s, but this one sounds like it kind of wants to detonate, and for whatever reason it's not wanting to idle very well here. And I don't know if no, that looks like the stock setting for the carb. carb. I really just don't care for the fact that it doesn't have a throttle stop screw. I mean, these carbs are tough like that. Yeah, well, maybe this one won't be for sale. Just hold the throttle setting right there. Let's see if this will tell me anything. It tells me it's going to die. So, you know what? I have one other prop size. I'm going to change the prop. And it's a smaller prop, unfortunately. I've only got a little bit of fuel left here. I don't know if changing the plug is going to be of benefit to me or not, but I might at least pull that plug and check it. Okay, so I swapped props. I've got a 12.7, and in the interim there I did look up what the RPM figures are, the two review articles I saw on this. The 13.8 was turning about, on the one article that had that, was turning 8,200, so that's what this was turning. The 12.7 I've got on here, APC 12.7, should be turning considerably higher RPM. So let's test that and see how things go here now. I don't know if I need to prime it or not, just because what I did. See, now that seems like it's too lean on the low end there. So on the Saito with the plastic throttle arm, it should be about a 1/16 recessed from the outer edge. So I've opened that up a little bit. Oh. Okay, I'm still at pinch it and it dies, pinch it and it dies. It shouldn't die. Seems like there's an awful lot of fuel, just raw fuel coming out of here. I wonder why that would be. just something not right with this carb, it would appear, or me. And I think this is the first 4-stroke engine I've run of the season, so maybe I just am a little rusty here. This is what it should be idling like. Now as soon as I pull this off, it's going to die. So what does that tell me? It either tells me that plug is suspect or it's still too rich. So that would mean I was opening it up and I should have been leaning it. That's a significant lean there. So when you're checking the low speed, if you can establish an idle speed, and say it's 2500, just for example, if you see that the idle speed constantly creeps up and then dies, I believe that means that it's rich, if I'm recalling correctly. And if it goes the other way, goes down below that and then dies, that means it's lean. Now this one didn't idle long enough for me to see what it's doing there at all, so I hope I said that correctly and I'm not backwards, but okay, so I don't have a whole lot of fuel left here. I think the only other thing I can try is just, let's put a different plug in there just for the heck of it. Okay, not much fuel left. Going out on a big limb here and using a plug that I would never use in a Saito, but I'm going to try it, and that's a Fox Miracle plug. Just to see what happens. But this thing might be just too low on fuel too. That ain't gonna work because I just ran out of fuel and I don't have any more fuel with me. So that's the end of that. Okay, so that was a puzzling run for me for this engine. I don't know if it's just because I'm rusty or if I've got an engine that still has issues in the carburetor somehow. I don't recall if I actually disassembled the carburetor completely, but I mean, it seemed fine when I tested it. So I don't know what's happening with this engine. It's got fantastic compression, and it turns this prop really well. I mean, if you like 10,000 RPM on a prop, this is the one to use. But the transition and the low speed idle thing is just not quite what I would consider Saito up to snuff, and I don't really know why that is. But maybe this engine requires more braking. I mean, I have no idea. It didn't look like it had much runtime at all on it to me. So anyway, that's our run for this Saito FA-72a engine for the day.